Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, a man is dead after being stabbed during a fight at a home in Newnham this afternoon. He was taken to the Launceston General Hospital but couldn't be saved. Reporter Nick Kelly has the latest.
Police have been here on Thomson's Lane since just before 3 o'clock this afternoon when they were called to reports of a wounding. They were very quick to take a man into custody, and ever since then officers have been going from door to door looking for witnesses, and forensic officers have been pouring over the scene behind me. They've also taken a car away from the house. Now, neighbours have told us that the victim was stabbed multiple times. Police say that a man was taken from the scene in a serious condition to Launceston Hospital, but he has now passed away. They also say that there is no wider threat to the community.
Hey, Nick Kelly reporting there. Well, thousands have spent the day in the dark as wild winds cuts power to large parts of the state. A significant weather system is causing widespread damage, and we're being warned the battering isn't over yet, with more severe storms on the way.
Mopping up after a destructive night. Gale force winds wreaking havoc, tearing down trees, ripping boats from moorings.
Strongest gust we've seen so far in this current event is 156 kilometres per hour.
The conditions keeping emergency services busy, the SES responding to 47 calls for help.
Those requests for assistance have been mostly storm or wind related, with roofs and the like.
The wild night following a hairy commute home yesterday. Strong waves causing traffic chaos over Midway Point.
That's because the tides are quite high and the strong winds are whipping up the seas. That was enough to blow over the causeway.
No reprieve from the weather carnage today. Heavy rain and wind still lashing the state, leaving a trail of damage.
We've responded to nearly 30 motor vehicle crashes on Tasmanian roads. In addition to that, we've responded to almost 50 incidents related to the weather, including trees over the roads.
Snow and strong gusts forcing Canungy Mount Wellington to close, while storm damage cut power to thousands right across the state. In Launceston, it was lights out at Kmart, the rolling outages impacting the lunchtime shopping rush. And there's more to come. The complex system set to continue the entire state in the firing line.
We're likely to see similar winds on most days right through to the middle to end of next week.
Authorities remaining on high alert and on flood watch as more storms unleash. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
The Nurses Union says it's disappointed in the Health Department's response to claims of chronic understaffing affecting new mums at the Royal Hobart Hospital. The department hasn't found evidence to back claims made, but the union continues to hear otherwise.
Women giving birth outside suites, patient to midwife ratios reaching 13 to 1, and infrequent checks on new babies. Just some of the claims coming out of the Royal Hobart Hospital's maternity ward.
Delays to antibiotics, delays to induction of women, and obviously frequent and appropriate checks of women.
In a letter sent last night, the Nursing and Midwifery Union demanded immediate solutions from the nursing director, but today say the response was disappointing. It says issues stem from chronic understaffing.
3 midwives to 18 women, plus babies on top of that, which aren't captured in the workload model.
The Health Department launching an investigation, but hasn't yet found any evidence to back the claims, including reports that a baby was stillborn due to staff shortages.
So far, we haven't found any other corroborating information that happened.
Regardless, understaffing continues to plague a system crying out for help as Tasmanians wait to see the impact of vacancy control measures.
It's almost Groundhog Day every day, hearing about another crisis in our healthcare system.
This is problems with solutions that are waiting there to be picked up and funded in this year's budget, and we really hope that the Minister for Health will listen to these pleas.
The Health Department says it will continue looking into all claims made by the ANMF and is encouraging all health staff to come forward with any information if they know something which may help assist ongoing investigations.
It is a safe service, it's a great service. Our staff are dedicated in that maternity unit.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmanian News.
Well, the Greens are calling on the Auditor-General to review a state government mining grants program, claiming the majority of the money is awarded to small minority of companies.
We have serious concerns over the grants and how they have rolled out. We see a large portion of these grants repetitively go to the same companies.
The Resources Minister says the program is instrumental for driving mineral exploration, with thousands of local jobs relying on the sector. Activists have taken drastic action to highlight Tasmania's housing crisis. Banners placed along the abandoned Conservatorium of Music on Sandy Bay Road reading "Empty buildings create empty communities." The Grant Group says despite Hobart Council approving housing development plans for the site, the building remains vacant. While the state government previously committed to 10,000 homes over 10 years, calls for empty buildings in the CBD to be filled continue. Volunteers are urging Tasmanians to dig deep with Legacy Week fast approaching. All money raised through these items will provide financial and social support for widows and the families of veterans across Tasmania.
This year could be a tight financial year for us. To be quite honest, we're grateful for any funds we get. It really does assist us.
The Hobart branch is currently supporting over 500 widows and some children. Stalls will be set up across the state next week where people can donate. For 30 years, Crime Stoppers Tasmania has been vital in helping police fight crime. With thousands of community tip-offs since inception, authorities have been able to crack countless cases thanks to hundreds of volunteers taking calls.
Small tip-offs can often have a huge impact.
In terms of Tasmania Police, there is no greater friend than what is Crime Stoppers.
The organisation supporting the work of police for 3 decades.
30 years later, we're still here, making sure that we make Tasmania the safest place to live in.
Since launching in 1994, there's been 70,000 reports, 18,000 offences and 4,500 arrests made.
Over that 30 years, they've been an integral part of what we do every day in terms of being the conduit between Tasmania Police and the community.
A simple phone call sometimes proving pivotal, providing the missing piece of the puzzle and helping police crack cases.
There have been many serious crimes that have been solved by that one little gem of information that's come from a Crime Stopper call.
Including an infamous inmate who escaped from Brisbane prison in 1999, but was apprehended following a tip-off from the public revealing his location.
There are a lot of people out in the community who know about crime or who suspect a crime, but don't particularly want to be identified.
Now averaging 23 contacts per day, involving everything from theft, wanted persons, robbery and antisocial behaviour.
Well, 30 years, I think we've gained the trust of the community, which is unbelievable.
With plans to continue building this trust. Rebecca Gaidaneris at 7 Tasmanian News.
The state government says it's 100% focused on delivering the new spirits as Labor questions whether a patchwork solution to allow the new vessels to berth should be built. Dean Winter citing concerns about safety and potential impacts on neighbouring Sea Road terminal.
I'm concerned that this is against advice. We don't know how much it's going to cost and we don't know what the benefits are. There are issues around safety. There's significant risks and this is our key transport hub to the mainland.
The government says Tasports and TT Line are undertaking works to prepare for the arrival of the new boats. An iconic Launceston venue is a step closer to receiving the green light, readying itself to welcome a new generation of Wills to its streets. 5 years after a landslip forced its closure, the revamped Road Safety Centre is receiving its finishing touches, and now it's after a crop of local artists to add a splash of colour to the new look town.
The original centre was well known for its play equipment, its street signs and especially its mural, and we're looking to reinstate this in a fresh, new, modern way.
The bike centre coming back to its former glory. There's obviously been quite an extensive amount of work that's been going on here.
The centre is on track to reopen by the end of the year. The search is on for two of the state's most promising new artists, with entries to the annual Henry Jones Art Prize now open. The winners will pocket $20,000 each in either the traditional painting or mixed media categories.
Well, it's incredibly validating for emerging artists to win a prize, to have your work kind of evaluated by very qualified judges and told that it was actually quite good.
So this is our dedication to the art culture, the continuing art culture and the growth of art culture in Tasmania.
Entries close on October 6. Finalists will be announced early in November. Launceston Mayor Matthew Garwood is catching up with some old friends behind the scenes at Dracula's, the show which launched his performing career. The current batch of stars expecting full houses for their shows at Launceston's Princess Theatre.
It's just an amazing platform that lots of Tasmanians not only have been in the audience to see, but also on stage. Just after my show finished, there were a couple of more Tasmanians that were on stage there as well, and you're going to see Tasmanians here once again on stage.
Great to catch up with the Mayor. A lot of memories from back in the Melbourne Dracula's days.
Dracula's Sanctuary starts tomorrow night and runs until Saturday. Tasmania's East Coast will soon toast a milestone, gearing up to uncork its 10th annual Great Eastern Wine Festival next month. Over 10 days, attendees can soak up more than 30 events, showcasing some of the region's cool climate drops.
We've got 14 vineyards taking part in the event. We've got a few others along the coast that don't have cellar doors as well, and so they're partnering with different venues.
It's such an array of different events showcasing the wines, the wine producers, the vineyards, the cellar doors.
The event runs between September 6 and 15.
Devonport's Kai Savage is bursting onto the NBL scene, scoring 11 points in an impressive debut for the Bullets in their pre-season clash with Melbourne United. Both teams playing without some key players, leaving development talent to step up. Fellow Tasmanian Tanner Krebs helping last year's premiership runners-up to an early lead before the Bullets turned the tide, winning 90-75. Tasmanian sprinter Chelsea Scollier's medal hopes are in doubt after just her first heat at the Under-20 World Athletics Championships in Peru. Limping off the track with a hamstring injury on her Australian debut in the 100-metre sprint, the injury may jeopardise the 18-year-old spot in the relay later this week. If we're going to add to Tasmania's 6 Paris medals, it's all riding on our sole Paralympian Alexandra Viney. The Launceston rower contesting the PR3 mixed Coxed 4 on the water at the Versuman Stadium from Friday night our time.
Well, Murph will join us after the break with an update on the weather.
Good evening. Well, what a day, hey? Let's start with the numbers. Hobart and Launceston 13 degrees, Devonport and Burnie 12. Below average temperatures today, King and Flinders Islands 14, Smithton and St Helens 13, Lowhead, Friendly Beaches, Strawn 12, Bushy Park 11, Lyawini a low of 0 and a high of just 1. But it was more about the wind today. Mount Reid had winds of 156 kilometres an hour at 5 a.m. Above Hobart, the mountain copped 143 k's and Smithton this afternoon, winds of over 111 kph. Now the cloud, of course, moved through very quickly. 68 millimetres of rain overnight to 9 o'clock at Warra. Since then, 4 p.m, 12 millimetres, the highest total at Butler's Gorge. Our current pattern also affecting southeastern parts of the mainland, some cloud over tropical North Queensland, and the next band of cloud close to WA. We can see why, because there's a westerly stream over us, and that next high will cause that. The front coming our way is just there near WA with that band of cloud. That'll move quickly our way tomorrow. West to northwesterly winds as strong as 40 knots and to 30 over the east coast, swells to 7.5 metres. We have a severe warning for damaging winds. Again, that still exists for the majority of the state. A strong wind warning for the upper east coast and the southwest lakes, with a gale warning for the rest of the coastline. Minor flood warning for the Huon and Styx rivers, and a sheep grazier's warning for the southeast northwest coast, Upper Derwent Valley and the Furneaux Islands. Let's have a look at the forecast. All about the same again. Hobart 14, 13 for Cygnet and New Norfolk, with showers on the way again for tomorrow. Launceston 14 with rain increasing, same for Devonport and for Campbelltown. 100% chance of rain for Burnie, 13 the top, 13 also for Strawn and Smithton, 15 tomorrow. St Helens showers increasing, 15 the top. Same for Swansea. Rain increasing for Fingal with 14 the maximum. On Friday, showers tending to rain over the north and west with showers easing in the east. Showers on Saturday easing a little over the east. A windy day again with snow to 500 metres. And on Sunday, most of the showers focused on the west and north. Showers easing from Perth tomorrow. Fine in Adelaide, Sydney and Brisbane. A windy day in Melbourne with a shower or two there. Rain in Hobart, cooling down to 6 degrees right now, 8 degrees in Launceston. A windy evening in Devonport. It's currently 8 degrees. With all this weather going on, Kim, I'm starting a full investigation as to what blew into my eye today. Ugh.
Yeah, it looks bad. I mean, you are a one-eyed swan supporter, but really that's quite literal. That is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.